Now I'll read chapter 9 in Against All Odds. It's called 45 Seconds. It came with a roar. Suddenly there was a wall of water filling the whole tunnel. It came at us so fast that there was no time to get ready. We're going, I began, but there wasn't enough time to stay under. There was only enough time to grab a breath and get under the surface of the water. Even underwater, the force of the wave knocked and pushed us around like crazy. It was like getting swamped at the wave pool, but the storm sewer was only a little bigger than we were. When the wave hit, we were tossed, twirling and falling against the rough sides of a tunnel. The concrete stripped against my shoulders and legs, but there was nothing we could do. There was no way we could fight the force of the water. For a second, I thought it was all over. We were being swept through the tunnel as fast as a car along a city street. There was no air to breathe, nothing to cling to. The future was clear, death. When our lungs gave out 45 seconds. At some point, I remember that number and went back to the swimming lessons that Jeff and I had taken at Queen Elizabeth Pool. We used to do this thing they called the dead man's float. The idea was to hold your breath as long as you could. Jeff was the best, of course. He could hold his breath for a minute, maybe longer. Once he held his breath so long that the lifeguard jumped in to pull him out. Jeff just laughed when the lifeguard put her arm around his neck. He fooled us all, but that's how I knew that I could hold my breath for 45 seconds. I could do a dead man's float for 45 seconds, so I just had 45 seconds left to live. 45 seconds. No, I lost 5 seconds remembering trying to clean through the concrete. Now I was down to 40 seconds and less, 39, 38. The current from the flash flood was pushing us like rag dolls through the tunnel. I couldn't see Jeff or Tank. I couldn't see much of anything, but I felt the awful power of the water as it threw me from side to side. 35 seconds. It's not scary when you know you're going to die. I was just timing my way down, like a stopwatch, counting to zero. In 33 seconds, I'd be dead. That was a simple fact. Someone would find my body in Mill Creek. I could even see my body floating in the river, dead and white. But what was funny was that I didn't care. I didn't care about my own death. In 30 seconds, I'd be dead. It was simple. Hey man, no worries. 30 seconds, less than half a minute to go. Maybe it was being under the water that made me so doozy. They say that divers sometimes get raptured of the deep. They throw away the scuba gear or give the mask and fins to some friendly-looking fish. And then they die. Maybe the same thing was happening to me. Maybe just before you die, when you know you're going to die, you just lose your mind, maybe 25 seconds. Maybe life isn't that important. I wouldn't see Jeff anymore, but he'd be dead too. I guess Mom and Dad would feel kind of sad. Yeah, they'd be real sad, and so would Megan. In a flash, I saw their faces, the looks on them. I could see the guilt they'd feel because we were dead. There'd be a funeral. Kids from school would come, and we'd be there in our coffins, dead, gone. And here I was, washed away in the tunnel, not even fighting back. 20 seconds. Crash, my shoulder slammed into something hard and metallic. Then the water pushed me right up against it. It felt like a giant hand was pressing me against this metal grate. And then it got worse. Slam, slam. I could feel my brother and Tank crashing into me. Then all three of us were pressed against the grate. This must be the end, I said to myself. Some kind of grate at the end of the tunnel. We're trapped between the grate and the water pushing us into it. Nobody can save us now. Nobody. 15 seconds. Somebody's hand is pushing around by my head. It's Jeff trying to feel the grate or push at the grate or something. But what's the point? If the water can't push the grate open, we don't have a hope. We're going to drown like this. We're going to run out of air in our lungs and drown. It all seemed so simple. I wasn't even afraid. I've been alive for 16 years, mostly pretty good ones. And in 12 seconds, I'd be dead. It was simple. But then Jeff was jabbing me, grabbing my hand. He pushed my hand until I felt a little piece of metal on the grate. An iron pin the size of my finger. 10 seconds? What does the kid want anyhow? There's a little piece of metal, a bolt or something. I can feel it with my hand. I can see it. I can't see it. Maybe I can feel it. Kind of L-shaped like a handle or a latch. Jeff is pulling on the grate and, what does he want? He's trying to tell me something, jabbing at my back, putting my hand on the bolt. Why can't I figure out what he wants? My brain feels so slow, I'm starting to run out of air, and I want to open my mouth and breathe. But there's no way, there's no air, there's nothing but filthy water and junk all around us. 5 seconds. I was ready for the last minute. When your whole life is supposed to go before your eyes. But the last minute didn't come. Instead, my brain started working again. I figured out what Jeff wanted. He was pulling at the gate, trying to ease the pressure, but he needed me to pull the bolt. But pull the bolt and release the gate, I said to myself. It was simple after all. Just pull the bolt and the grate will open. We've got one last chance. Pull the bolt and release the grate. Stay tuned to find out what the next chapter will be about.